Everything goes along and nothing goes without trials and tribulations and things to do, and I thought we were so close, but these sifting lifters have failed again.
The journey's been long, but it's not over yet. Off to her new home with much love, no regrets. One piece at a time, didn't stop till it's done. Josephine now lives on into future rising sun.
Everything goes along and nothing goes without trials and tribulations and things to do, and I thought we were so close, but these sifting lifters have failed again. So what we're going to do is take the hydraulic pieces out and we're going to put a solid lifter conversion in there, and that'll be the end of it. I should have known better. I had one fail on the engine stand off the bat. Then everything seemed to be fine. I set it on here, went started up. The rear one failed. So I'm just going to take them all out, replace them all, and be done with it. Sifton Products used to be a good brand name, and now they are crap. Crap. Anything I've gotten from them has been crap. So I've been through this before with different kind of special lifter setups that they have. These were some of those super duper Sifton ones, one piece lifters with the super duper secret valve inside. 50 miles. Crap, they failed. So stay away from them. Don't buy that crap. It's no good. We're just going around now and trying to tie up all the loose ends, and it never seems to end. It seems like when you put something else on, it affects something else. I always say change one thing, move three more. It's usually the way it seems to be. And when I went to put the gas tank on, I had interference here and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I had these plug wires run up here around the head and over, which I thought would be fine. It turned out one of the wires had gone over this here. So I took the tank off, I investigated, I did what I had to do. I moved some things, I changed some things, and I made sure that I had enough plug wire to come over here and come straight down through there. Great, no interference. Problem solved, I thought. Well, it turns out with this boot sticking up this way, the gas tank actually hits it. So I had to go back, reroute again, got it down through here, up through here. Everything's out of the way, won't rub. Pretty well got it where I want it. There's lots of play and everything here so that, you know, the motor will move and stuff like that. And now the gas tank appears to go on fine, but it's always something. So we're going around trying to tidy up those small things, checking all of our connections, all our bolts, everything, locking everything down, a top mount and such. We've got all that pretty well in place. So on to the other side. So we got down to working on this side here, and I thought we had everything pretty well tidied up. I ran the motor, I had run it on the test stand. When I did, I had a bad lifter in the back on one side of these brand new Sifton lifters. So I took it out and I replaced that, even though they were an oddball size. I had to turn a bit of the body down to make it fit. So I ran it again a few more times on the engine stand, did my break-in runs, all that. Everything seemed to be fine. Brought it out, put it in the bike, fired it up yesterday to run it. Click on the rear cylinder. Now I find out that the one in the back here has collapsed, you know, and if I hold it full of fluid, just keep pressure on it for a long period of time, all of a sudden little pieces will squirt out. So that back lifter is no good. I'm not going to take a chance on the remaining lifters here. I'm going to take them all out. I bought a solid lifter conversion kit to put in. We're going to change it over to solids, and that'll be the end of that. I have had no luck with sifting stuff. I had a set of their one-piece hydraulic lifters with their special valve in them. That lasted about 50 miles and that failed. I don't think I'd put another sifting part on a wheelbarrow. They're not what they used to be. It used to be a good brand name, a quality product, and now I think it's just an overseas import with the Sifton name on it. So now we're back to tearing this all apart. Friday I got new pieces coming in. I'm going to put the solids in it. That should be the end of that. I'm not real happy about it, I'll tell you that, because this is just time. As I said, this is what happens to mechanics when they work on stuff and things don't work out right. Especially when you're buying brand new parts that are supposed to be, you know, made right. They're not. They're not. They're just shipping all that factory second garbage over here, and it gets pretty frustrating. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna pull all those out today so that I'm ready for the conversion kit when it comes, and we'll see what else we'll run into then. I hope nothing more. Also, I've got to get up here because I've got no brake light switch. Got my rear one, but when I pull the handle up here, I got nothing. I'm gonna have to take that apart and see what's going on there. Fortunately, I have a new switch in stock that I can change out. It's just a pain to change it. It's cutting and soldering and trying to fit it in there. But I hope that we're getting down to the bottom of things. I hope. Fortunately, since we've done the back brake, it's holding up well. All right, I'm gonna take those out.
When one works so hard, bad parts make you mad. Push rods in and then out, lifters making you sad. But just grin and bear it and get the job done. Old ones out and new ones in, then we're off to the sun. So the days finally come, after hours, weeks and months. One foot then the other is what it took to get done. The sun shines today, not as warm as could be, but Josephine has waited, so it's time we will see. The journey's been long, but it's not over yet. Off to her new home with much love, no regrets. One piece at a time.
No, I'm gonna have to turn the motor over to get that one compressed down far enough. Maybe it would come out, but it won't. But it won't. No, sir. All right. So that takes care of that, getting those out. It's a pain, but these things are trash. I know that rear one is a good one because it's a new one that I put in there. So I'm going to set that one aside. And the rest of these can probably go right in the garbage. Right in the garbage. With a capital S on them. For shitty sifting. Now these things are supposed to hold pressure in there. You can see that it's kind of looking like it does. My hands are dry. And if I just continue to put downward pressure on that, we want to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See the oil out there? The check ball's not holding. Not holding at all. That was also one out of the rear cylinder. I'm going to put a little oil in this. Just a little bit so that it's not dry air. I'm going to put the plunger in it. I'm going to wipe my hands and the unit off nice and clean so that we're dry. And now I'm going to try and hold that down in the palm of my hand with some pressure on it. Now mind you, I can't hold the pressure compared to what the push rods would do under load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see that? If I can push them down with my hand, there's a big problem. So it turns out 3 out of 4 were all bad. They're all garbage. They're all leaking by. So I mean, I could go and fix one, then you run it a little bit, another one would fail, another one would fail. And I remember talking to Jerry Mertz Motors, And Jerry had told me, you know, that they've pretty well gone to solids on everything like that because the hydraulics today are just garbage. They're just garbage. You can't buy a good set, save your soul, unless you want to pay an astronomical amount. But as far as the aftermarket goes, don't even bother with it. Put solids in them like they used to. If you don't like the little tiny bit of tick, tick, tick that you might get, it's nothing compared to the noise you get when your lifters are failing. All right, so we'll wait till tomorrow. We'll put the new ones in. So sometimes it can just be the little button switch here, and there's a button that you push in and out for your brake light switch. And so I'm going to check that first. Got my lights on. Got nothing happening. So that tells me that we got to tear this all apart, cut the wires, solder some new wires in, put a new brake light switch in. So now that we've got it all apart, and I took my other switch out, and it literally came out in a handful of pieces. So something wasn't right in there. So now, just to make sure, I've just wired up, you know, twisted my wires together, and I want to make sure that this switch is going to work and that I don't have a wiring problem somewhere else. So we'll turn the ignition on, even with the lights on, and the brake light should be on. I hold the button in, and that should shut that brake light off. Then when the button goes out, that goes on. And I can check my rear one. It's working. All right. So now I know that my new switch is working, that I don't have a wiring problem somewhere else. So we're going to solder it up, get her cleaned up, put it back together. Well, there, we got it all back together now again. The throttle cables are reset, so one last check. Lights on, brake light, brake light, brake light. Good to go. I'm hoping that's getting to the end of it. I'm really kind of getting there now, so waiting for the lifters to come. So now we've got our solid lifter conversions kit came in, and they're just little units like that. And being how it's never dull, when Sifton made these to go into their lifter bodies, they're 513 thousandths of an inch to drop into the body. Now these ones come for standard ones are at about 518, 519. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, almost 6 thou difference. I had that problem when I tried to put a new lifter in. I couldn't get it in. I had to turn the body of the lifter down a little bit to get it to fit in there because it wouldn't go in the holes. So I've turned all these down now and got them sized up so that they'll slide right in the holes now. Snug, not tight, but snug. It never fails, and I don't know why they make them a different size from anything else. I guess that's because if a lifter fails, then they want you to buy the whole kit again. Never again, never again. So I'm gonna go along and set these up. I've got them all in there so that they fit properly. And none of them are binding up. They're fitting right down into the bodies. So I'm gonna go along and set them all like solid lifters so just the push rod just spins. And then we'll try that from there, and that should alleviate that problem of ticking and clicking and clacking in there with the lifters failing. So I'm just going to go along and do that. I've shown you enough how to do that, how to set those lifters, so I'll come back when we've got them all together. Alrighty, so we got the solids in it. I've rolled the thing over a bunch to make sure I got no interference or anything, so we put the plugs in it. We're ready to give it a try. Richter on. That's on. Full shot of gas. Well, sir, that's the way it should sound. It's not noisy now, it's not ticking. Get the solids adjusted right. If you adjust the solids up right, there's no reason for them to be noisy. You know, if they're slack and stuff, they'll tick and things. But this is new motor. I can't hear them there now, and I'm pleased with that. It's way better than what it was. So, solids are the way to go. All right, so we got a few things left to tidy up. I have to bleed the brakes on the front, get the gas tank installed. After that, we're all good. So, for a Monday, I'm feeling pretty good about it. The only problem I had was with fitting those solids into the bodies, and I had one push rod in the back that I had to turn down a little bit because it wouldn't go in on the solid lifter thing. Other than that, she's all good. She's dry. There's no oil coming out anywhere. I'm pleased with that. All right, Monday. All right, I just got to tidy up some other small things here, bleed the brakes, and we'll be good to go. So it's a little cooler in here this morning, and I'm just going to get the last few things tidied up. A few things I had to do yesterday. I had to take the cover off, the S&S cover off, because it was running so close to the tank that with the engine moving slightly up and down, I was afraid that it would hit the tank, so we had to cut the top out of it to give us clearance to allow for that. It's always those little things that we keep on having to deal with. You know, I've put the solid lifters in there now, so I'm pleased with that. Everything seems to be all right. Last thing we got to do now is our front master cylinder and our dual disc brakes up front. So we've got the top off it, and I've got some .5. We're going to fill that up, and what we're going to do is first bench bleed it right here, which is very important. Oh yeah, I'm going to make a mess this morning. Got quite an angle on her there. We're just going to put our finger over the end of it here. Start slowly pumping it up so we can get fluid down into the chamber. You have to do this first, or you'll be trying to bleed your brakes forever. Just holding our finger over the end here. Let it suck some in. You can see the air bubbles coming out. Here we go. Once you're into the plunger, you'll see it starting to work back up through. Go. Whoops. Trying to get me. And there we go. Now we have pressure on our little line here. We've got it dripping out. So we're going to hook her back up. And we know that the body is full there. You have to adjust things a little bit because that angle is pretty steep on those. Pretty steep. Yeah, it doesn't want to hold much fluid in there at that sort of angle off. So we're going to try and take a moment and try to adjust this up a little bit. See if we can get a little better angle on it. And when I get that up, I'll come back. So now we've got her topped up there. We're just going to see if we can start pumping some down into the system. Just keep releasing the bleeder screw to let the air out. And we may have to use our vacuum system and draw it through both sides, but I know in the past they always say to try to do the right side first. Get the fluid all the way down into there. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to get some. Just breaking the bleeder screw off. You know, as we pump it up and hold the lever in, we'll pop the bleeder screw and we'll see that some starting to come out. And I'm starting to get fluid out of there already, so we need to top it up. Alright, appears we've got the air out of that side. And then we're starting to get it out of that side. So we're just going to keep working it back and forth, and hopefully we can pump it up. If not, I'll have to use my vacuum system to haul it down from here, pull it down all the way down through. But in a very short period of time, I should be starting to feel some pressure here. And I know that we're pumping it down there because the fluid level is going down. So it's a little bit tedious, so I'm just going to take my time here and work away at it, and we should be able to get that pressure built up. If not, and I have to use my vacuum, I'll do that, and I'll show you that when I get it out. So we couldn't just get it to come up to pressure by bleeding it like you would normally bleed it. So I've had to hook my vacuum gauge up on it here and create a vacuum to suck it out through. Break our bleeder screw. And now you can see we're getting lots of air out of there. And now I've gone and checked at the handle, and I'm getting pressure build up there now. So I think I've sucked the majority of the air problem that I had down through it. So we're just going to try and pump it up by hand there now and see if I can break the bleeder screws and even the pressure out. That's the plan. Yeah, pull it a couple times there, watch, because it'll want to squirt out of there.
Oh.
That's what I mean, pull it slow, just so you can pull the pressure and hold it.
Holding under pressure.
Holding.
Ooh, that went down. Did you get air?
No air there. We're gonna check the other side, let off it.
I just did.
Okay, what's it feel like? Pretty good there. Let off her. Okay.
Got a mess.
No. Guess got it. Oh, what did I tell you not to do? What did I say don't do?
I don't remember.
You got Alzheimer's or something?
Yep.
Jesus. Don't do that. Goober?
So it works.
Yeah, don't touch it.
You done with me?
I'm done with you. Can't learn you nothing.
Oh boy, okay.
I should have just said pull it, and then you wouldn't have. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right. It's hard to get good help these days. Hard.
You need to do that.
Oh no. It was an accident. So we got an assistant to stay on them. Try to make them understand what you're talking about. So I'm gonna put the top on it. I'm gonna let it sit a little bit. Then I'll check my handle, see if it's spongy on me or whether it's holding. I think we've got it there. So sometimes that's the only way you can do it is hook the vacuum line on. They always say like do the right one first. I knew I had pure fluid coming out of that, but in the T-block and stuff, you can get a bunch of air trapped in there, especially when you're completely dry and starting out. So we just put the vacuum gauge on it, create a little vacuum, and sucked from the top right down through, took the air out of it. It seems to be good now. So sometimes bleeding your brakes can always be a chore. If it's just a single brake, usually you can get away with it, but with dual brakes on the front, sometimes it's just almost impossible to get the air out, even though you seem like you're trying to pump it up. You open the bleeder screw, fluid comes out, you don't see no air. You can't figure out why you're not getting any. It's because it's trapped up farther into the system. And sometimes it's very hard to get out. So using a kit like I have here, mine is like an automotive kit. It has all various fittings for different type of applications. But you know, it will enable you to do that. Now, if you're looking for something budget, something like this, these little syringes here, and I don't know whether you can read that or not, but it says Easy Bleeder. And you can pick those up fairly cheap. They come with a bunch of different size ends to put on your bleeder screws. And it's the same theory. You know, you put your thing on there, you break the bleeder screw, and then you suck it back out with this. So these also work very efficiently. And I used these for many years before I got this other kit. You know, sometimes you just are always on a budget, so you try to work around with what you got, but after years of frustration and stuff and trying to get things along, I broke down and I bought the kit, and now I'm glad I did. I use it all the time. It saves me a lot of hassle. So if you're working on your brakes, you might consider the brake bleeder vacuum kit, you know, for an automotive kit, because it works extremely well and you pump up a lot of pressure with it and it'll suck it out. And if you're not, go for like an Easy Bleeder. They're not all that expensive. I think they come with two different syringes in them and some other things. So they're readily available. They don't cost a lot of money, and they'll really help you out if you're dealing with disc brakes. Double discs on the front. Another little unit is made by Motion Pro, and this is a quick bleeder, an easy hydraulic bleeder they call it. And it's just a small unit like that. Now and what it is, it's a one-way valve. So if you put it on this way, this end on your bleeder screw, you can of course breathe through it. And as the fluid comes up through here, you can't breathe on this. It's a one-way valve. So it allows the fluid to come up, but does put an airlock in there so that you can lock your screw and not have any problems with it. It's pretty slick little unit, really. And these units aren't very expensive. They're like $27 Canadian. You know, the Easy Bleed is around 50 bucks here, and both of them are readily available from mid-USA. Part number for the Easy Bleed, the Easy Bleeder, this small one here, is 57910. That's the part number from mid-USA for those of you that can deal with them. And the Easy Bleeder kit, this style, is about 50 bucks up here, and the part number is 57909 from mid-USA. Also, while I'm spouting out part numbers, I used a tool that I had fabricated up to line up the rear end on the FLHT, and there's also that tool is also available from mid-USA. The part number is 20119, and they're about 35 bucks. So here's the thing for the Easy Bleeder. There's the Easy Bleeder in the catalog, and the tool is just above it there. So they're all in there. Look through your catalog. mid-USA carries them all, and they'll all help you out. Okay, that takes care of brakes for today. And that was about the last thing on Josephine that I have to do. I still have my remote tank hooked up because I don't have gas in the tank. I'm going to go up the station and fill it full of high test there and put a good amount in the tank before I try to run it. And pretty well time to call Carrie and say, come and get the old gal. She's pretty well ready for the road. Unfortunately, I don't have a seat or anything like that, so it's hard for me to take it out for a drive. You know, there's a big hole there, so it's not like other ones. You can just lay something on the frame. I'd have to rig up something, and I may do that, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So it's Friday morning here, and I just had the delivery guy just left. Here's what we got. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Sure can make a box, Carrie. I was talking to him the other day and telling him how Josephine was pretty well ready to go, but I hadn't had her out for a drive because I didn't have any seat. I could have probably geared something up, but after talking to Carrie and my soul. There we go. There we are. Bit of a chore put me through this morning, but it's great to see. So we got the seat for Josephine, so I'll be able to take it for a ride. It's raining today, but I'm hoping Sunday's looking good, so maybe I'll get a chance then. But it's clear there. Well, that's not too bad. That'll give me something to sit on and try it out, although there's no way to anchor it down. There's a bit of a gap around the front of the tank here also, because there's a plastic panel that's supposed to go in there, and it might be a bit of a hard piece to find. It's actually a 61649-80 part number for this plastic piece that goes in there, and it only fits from 1980 to 82, so it's different again on the 83 as I understand it. But we'll have to figure out something. I'll just kind of put something around it and bungee it a little bit. But I think on the back here, the way this is built is to go into a rack setting here, and that kind of holds this in place. Other than that, there's no way to bolt the seat down. There's these two bolts underneath here, which I would understand that the racking would bolt to somehow, although I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look it up. Hey! And unexpectedly today, Chuck Martin dropped in with my wheels and my side cover for Rosie. I didn't know he was coming today, but it was a pleasant surprise on a rainy day to see those come in, and they were getting pretty dull, and I could see as soon as he carried them in the door how much better they looked, and the side cover is just gleaming. So very pleased with those, Chuck. You know, you can tell just by looking at them how nice they are. So they're looking very nice, very nice. Compared to what kind of shape they were in, they look beautiful. And they'll be just fine for Rosie. They'll be just fine. Thanks very much for doing those for me. I appreciate it. So now she's starting to look like a motorcycle. Thanks for sending the seat down, Carrie. It'll make it a lot better to get it out for a little drive. I'll just bungee something on here to hold it. I don't think I got a rack for it. I do have a rack off the back, but I think it was off FLH, but I'm not sure. So I might have a look for that today, because it might be an underneath. And I thought I remember seeing some, but I'm not really sure which it was for. But you know, you have things laying around for a lot of years. Who knows? So we'll go check that out today, but there she goes. So between me fussing around with things and figuring out what to do and trying to get the seat on so that it'll stay on, I get thinking I should begin looking at my junk, because I think stashed way in the back. One time I knew I had another FLHT tank. I know I don't have the bottom piece because I sold that, but I do have the tank and some other various pieces. So, and I had some transmission and body and a few things like that kicking around for a lot of years. So I thought, geez, what's the chances? I thought I seen an old back rack back in there, and I was racking my brain, and I would have never had an FLH one on, but I did have that FLT rack. So I went in, moved all the junk around. Took me 10 minutes to get in there where I could get in this hole where stuff was at. Lo and behold, I think we've got the right rack here. I'm just going to try it there, but by and by she's going to fit. And I'm pretty sure that that's it. It was only made them 80 to 82, these racks. So probably hard to find. And Carrie, you might have one in among your stuff there. I failed to mention it to you when you sent me the seat, and neither one of us thought of it, but you will need this rack kind of piece. If you see it laying around and you're not quite sure what it's for, it is for to attach to the rear rack. And it gives your passenger something to put their back up against as well. So it's sort of an important piece there that can be overlooked. Snug these up. What luck? What luck? go. That's the way she's supposed to be. Now I can take it for a ride and the seat will stay on it the way it's supposed to. How ironic. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit, painted, whatever. But it's an OEM piece there it's a good 30 years old anyway, at least. More than that, well, it's as old as the bike. So it's a standard piece. So it just shows you never throw stuff out. You never know when you're gonna need it. I would never be having one of these again in my life. You know, I know that. That's just not my kind of bike. But someone might have a need for these pieces. So that's why I hang on to them. And when it's a project like this and you get this far through it, if you can add that to it, it's pretty good. All right. So the sun's shining today. I got the trike out of the way. And I think I'm going to see if we can get Josephine out for a drive, and hopefully everything goes right. I have no doubt. Sometimes you just got to be brave and get at it. And today's the day. So we'll keep you with us as we go along.
Do you want me to bend it over
Can you?
for you?
Yeah, can you?
Sure I can. Teamwork.
That's the way to make it work. Grab a hold of her. Got a grip on her.
You're squishing my thumb. Oh, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. Let me give it a little shake.
Pick it up.
Careful. There.
I got it. I got it. That should be enough. It will be enough. It's just a huge tank. There's lots in there. $50, fill that thing up. Seriously, today, she'd probably take $40, if not $50 to fill that tank up today. I put 20 bucks in and it's not even up to the backbone. So, but it's enough to run it around and see what happens. Go easy.
There we go.
All right, side stand.
What's that?
Side stand.
Stand down. Air in it?
I'm gonna check the air in them, just to be sure.
So the days finally come, after hours, weeks, and months. One foot, then the other, is what it took to get done. The sun shines today, not as warm as could be, but Josephine has waited, so it's time we will see. The journey's been long, but it's not over yet. Off to her new home with much love, no regrets. One piece at a time. stop till it's done. Josephine now lives on into each rising sun.
Well,
It's all good.
awesome.
It's all good. My camera almost fell off. I had to grab it.
Your phone.
Phone, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that was bad. But it seems to be all right. Shifting through the gears there. A little trouble getting it into neutral when I came in here, so. But I might have to set the clutch up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Thought that I might have to do that. It's pretty soft and it's a new cable, so I get quite a bit of play in it there. Probably have to adjust that up. But other than that, it's pretty good. Seems to handle nice and smooth. You know, back brakes got to be, they're brand new, so they got to break in a little bit, but they're coming around. Seems all right.
Well, it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as quiet as it would have been with hydraulics, but it's a little bit sticky. But I mean, so that's normal with the solids. So.
Yeah. At least
Seems to run nice and smooth. Shifts through all the gears. So I think just neutral. I think we just don't have enough clutch.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got it set really light. So, and the cable has already stretched some.
Well,
So-
that's why you're testing her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Good day for it.
Good day. Nice out.
Yeah. Make some adjustments. So I've been out for a couple rides now, and she works good. She works really good. It's just running smooth. I'm keeping her under 55, just putting around up and down, break the engine in. And it feels good. It handles good. The brakes are coming now that they're starting to use them. At first, you know, there's not a lot of brake, you know, but now they're starting to seed in. I'm going to take a couple more rides and that'll fix that. The only problem I had was with the clutch, and I couldn't get it into neutral to save my soul. Turn the bike off, I could get it into neutral, but not when it was running. So a little lesson learned. I double checked, I pulled my clutch cover off so that I could put a wrench on it and then pull the clutch handle in and spin the clutch around. So I knew that I was disengaging plenty, and I didn't want to make it a heavy pull for carry, so I didn't want to dick with that a whole lot. So I started thinking, you know, what else could it be? I knew I had set the transmission shift forks up properly, you know, the little adjuster that goes onto the shifting cam. I'm always pretty meticulous about that. But I did think of my own ultimate wisdom to reroute my linkage, and I wanted the linkage nice and straight. And I do remember in the past that there was a lot of trouble with shifting with a lot of Sportsters and stuff when the linkage just wasn't right and at the right angle and such, and it shifted through the gears like butter, but just couldn't find neutral. So what I did was go and change the angle of the shift rod from where I had it. I had it in close to the motor so it was running straight. I'll try and show you here. So I had it running up into the front one on the inside so that it was like a straight push, but the way these are machined out, it looks like it should be on this sort of angle. So once I angled it out on an angle, bam, neutral. So sometimes it's good before you panic about things and scratch your head and say, well, what have I run into that before? And give it some serious thought. And the only time I've had that problem, as I said, was with some Sportster stuff that just, the linkages weren't just right. Most other things are a straight shot. I thought these would be, but evidently it's putting just a little bit too much pressure sideways, doing that unknowingly, and wouldn't allow it to shift. Now that I sit it there, it seems to go in and out of neutral like a piece of cake. That's what it's supposed to be. All right. So I'm a happy camper today. So if you enjoyed this video today, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, do those kind of things. It helps us to grow. Well, it's been a long trip with Josephine. You know, all good things take time. All good things come to those who wait, as they say sometimes. When she first came here, she was a bit of a pig in a poke. We're not quite sure what I was going to be getting into, and at some points, yes, it was a little hard on my head, so to speak. But we got through it. and now she's going home to somebody who really cares and loves for her, and that's all that matters. Be sure to check out my brothers down south, Hippie's Chopper Corner, Slick Ed's Custom Cycles. They're on their way to Maggie Valley, so check them out. Keep an eye on their videos. There'll be stuff happening. I wish I was with you boys. I wish I was down in Maggie Valley. It's just too far for me to go these days, but my heart is with you down there. My thoughts are with you. Have a good time. Meet all your friends that are come to see you, and play safe down there. Special thanks to all my viewers out there that keep me going. I respect you very much, and I couldn't be doing this without your support. So every day it helps me and keeps me going a little bit harder, a little bit farther. So keep it up, and I thank you all. With that all being said, and we're at the end of the journey, I've made up something a little special this week for Josephine. I took a little bit of the stories that Carrie told me and the things that I had and pictures, and kind of threw it all together, and I've made this little tribute out to Josephine. So this is special for you, Carrie and Josephine. So stick around till next week. I'm not sure what's coming up on my plate. I've left it open so Carrie come and get his bike, and I've got a few other things to clean up. But we're going to start on to Margaret again. I've got her just about ready to go. So she's been sitting all winter. We charged the battery up, start working on those kind of things. And we got a new project coming in too. So it's never dull here. Stick around. I'll see you next week. Enjoy the video.
The old man had a life of stresses and fears, past memories haunted by bad times and tears. A decorated vet, he had not many friends, but the Harley was his through all life's twists and bends. Closing his eyes, feeling the wind and the ride. In the bad times of war, his dreams stayed alive. Then one year she was stripped, a plan for perfection, but the years went by, and life changed direction. The boxes gathered dust, the parts they stayed dry. She was alone in the dark, but no one heard her cry. She was the vision of two, but only one now remains. Two men's lifelong dream. They call her by name, Josephine. Ride free, Josephine. Your life is not done. Years of neglect, but you'll see another sun. Though time has been long, you felt it was over. The weights made you stronger, determined and bolder. But as fate has a hand in all that we do, a new time, a new place, a new beginning for you. Unwilling to part with her, always hoping for more. The old man just kept her, and much like the war, memories had faded, but not forgotten they were. It was time to let dreams continue for her. He passed away silently, alone as he had been, but fate had plans for Josephine again. Ride free, Josephine. Your life is not done. Years that day with pride. Some blood and some tears. The lights will shine bright for many more years. Josephine.